bank manager tells you that you are paying 35% interest rate on it, and you must pay back within 2 years or something, you have not started at all. So that is the problem, and that is why we say the government, the federal government, should come into this thing, make it to take off. If it takes off, I am sure even non-Nigerians, there are foreigners who are coming to us, who want to partner with us and go into this business. But they are doing the discussion on their own terms, because we are handicapped.
Okay, let's go to Abuja and talk to Mr. Ekozin, who is the president of Progressive Miners Association. Mr. Ekozin, let's look at this issue now. The issue is beyond just that of funding.
Thank you very much again. Let me first and foremost, straighten out some of the comments made by both Peter and Tunji. You were asking a question. If the deposit of these minerals are right, closer to the surface of the earth, how come then that, investors are not investing in this sector? Let me tell you straight away that before the advent in about 1970 of the indigenization decree that transferred the management of major assets owned by foreigners or foreign investors back to the indigenous people, we saw massive contribution of mining to the national economy. As at that time, mining and agriculture were the major contributor to our national economy. Most of the infrastructures of railway we have today to Jos was as a result of the team mining taking place in Jos Plateau, where mechanized mining were done and good setup of mineral processing were done to upgrade and concentrate the mineral oils. Again, when you look at the coal mining, in Enugu, the raid also to Enugu was as a result of the coal mining in Enugu. So it has happened before, and it will still happen again. Like every one of us have been saying, the attention paid, for the oil and gas, to the neglect of all other sectors, solid mineral and agriculture, has been the bane of our national development. It's the thing now that have now created a situation where recently the CBN governor, is telling us that the unemployment rate in Nigeria is about 20%. This is ridiculous. In midst of these, massive minerals, natural resource endowment in this country, it is unacceptable. And we have always been campaigning and saying and advocating that mining has the potential of generating 1 million direct jobs on yearly basis. And we have reduced all of this to, in writing. And it's something that is scientifically proven that mining can generate this massive, employment. So it has been done before, and it can be done again, and that is the assurance we are saying.
Okay, Mr. Ekozin, let's look at it this way: the job creation that will come from mining, will it be coming from the processing of what you mine, or from the physical labor of the mining itself? Where would it be coming from?
Yes, now we have different stages of mining. The first stage is the exploration stage. You want to do your reconnaissance, you want to do your exploration, you want to look at the viability of the mines, and all of these takes a lot of manpower, and by so doing you are generating jobs. From that point, you go into the actual exploitation, at the actual mining operations, and that again is another different segment. From that point again, you go to the next stage of the beneficiations of these, mined products. And that is another stage. And then again, you go to the stage of, further either, smelting these products into ingots or going into, marketing of this product nationally or internationally by way of, local consumption or by way of export. So it has all manner of integration involved in the process of mining. And in all of these stages, it requires huge manpower, to be able to come up with, any of these operations successfully.
Okay. Mr. Eccleston, we hear that some Chinese companies have expressed their interest in our mining sector, and they're actually coming in and putting some money into it. How much is that helping our situation?
Well, the last part of it is nowhere connected. But you talked about the Chinese investors coming to this country. I with a heavy heart, I say this without any fear of contradiction, that the Chinese investors in quotes, I have always termed them as ravenous wolves in our mining industry and around us. What these people basically do is they are not here to set up any, organized mining setup. They are basically here to cut away everything and export them to their own country. And I gave a classified information to the nation some weeks back that the Chinese government gave the Chinese about $1 billion. Go to any African countries. Go as part of our, mineral strategic reserves, stocking. Go and get us minerals from any African countries. And that's what they are basically doing. They come in here with their money in their bags and they drag our people, as slaves in the mines field. And this now is creating spiral effects. In Odege, for example, there have been conflict between the community and the Chinese operating in that area. In Gumao, somewhere in Bauchi State, there are a lot of conflicts going on in there. Some in the court, some, fighting themselves. And a lot of all of these frictions, are ensuing. And these are unacceptable. And we have said, as a Nigerian, you can't go to China to do any of these, unethical mining procedures. And that is why we have been agitating, and we keep saying this, that the only way to sanitize this sector, have a standing presidential committee empowered by Mr. President to harness this sector for our economic development.
Okay, Mr. Eccleston, it's also been on record that we lost about $50 billion worth of gold to illegal mining. People from neighboring countries have been coming in to mine our gold. I'm actually surprised at this huge figure. I didn't know that Nigeria had so much gold. What is happening to our gold?
Well, gold is not just the only thing. We have assorted, gemstones endowment across the length and breadth of this country. God has blessed Nigeria, and we know that God has blessed us with huge mineral potentials. Now, I read that section with trepidation, recently when the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Mines and Steel, talked about, this massive pillage within the gold mining sites. And what struck my mind is this. Suppose the presidential study committee has been put in place. Will this have happened? We know the terrain. We know the operations of whoever is in the mining field. Suppose the major stakeholder has been integrated. Will any of this have happened? If this sector of, these gold mining operations have been well harnessed, how many jobs would this have created? What about the revenue, in terms of revenue we have generated for our nation for other development of our national economy? I mean, these are the issues, and this is why you see us when we speak so passionately. We're not speaking because of personal interest. We are speaking because of national interest. We are speaking because of our children that are coming